No one expected the cameras to catch what they did. Not even Robin. A flash of blonde hair, a kiss. And Kody, smiling, he said it was a misunderstanding. She said it was betrayal. But what happened next turned into a legal and emotional spiral that would change the Brown family forever. What would you do if the man you loved shared a secret kiss with someone no one else knew existed? Drop a comment below. We want to hear what side you're on. The courtroom is colder than usual. Maybe it's the icy silence between Robin and Kody, or maybe it's just the storm outside echoing through the courthouse windows. Either way, the tension is thick. Kody walks in first, his jaw tight. His tie a bit too tight? He's trying to control the narrative already. His eyes scan the gallery, narrowing the second they find Christine and Janelle sitting together on the left, arms crossed in matching disgust. But Robin doesn't follow him in. Instead, her entrance is loud, late, and theatrical, heels clicking, hair curled tighter than ever, holding a thick manila folder pressed against her chest like a weapon. She won't even look at him. What's in that folder? And why is her hand trembling as she grips it so tightly? Judge Renshaw calls the court to order. This isn't just another family squabble. It's a motion hearing over custody, financial division, and for the first time, an incident from last month's TLC taping that no one, not even production, wanted leaked. They called it the Park City Kiss. In footage never meant to air, Kody was seen on a hotel balcony during a cast trip. A woman unidentified walked up to him, placed a hand on his chest, and kissed him. On the mouth. He didn't push away. And now Robin's attorneys are arguing it proves infidelity. Not just emotional, her lawyer spits. This was physical. It was filmed. And it was hidden from us by the network until last week. Kody rolls his eyes. She kissed me, he says, loud enough that gasps erupt behind him. I didn't know her. I didn't kiss her back. But Robin's eyes say otherwise. Eyes that have cried, begged, and now burn with betrayal. TLC's legal rep is present too, whispering to their counsel, visibly nervous. They never intended for that clip to air. It was buried deep, listed in raw footage logs as montage cut 14C, with no identifying markers. Christine leans toward Janelle in the gallery, whispering, "She found it." Janelle just nods. The judge interrupts. Let's move forward with evidence review. And that's when Robin does something no one expects. She stands, walks to the middle of the courtroom, and places the manila folder on the clerk's desk. In here, she says quietly, is the woman's name, her background, her relationship to Kody, and text messages. Months of them. Kody freezes. Christine's mouth falls open. Even the judge looks taken aback. You obtained this how? Robin doesn't blink. She contacted me. Every courtroom has a moment where the air disappears. This was that moment. The gallery erupts into murmurs. Christine clutches her armrest. Janelle, suddenly pale, whispers, "This isn't about a kiss anymore." The judge nods to the clerk, who opens the folder and reads a name. One the family hasn't heard in years. Sarah Lee Williams. Kody's face goes sheet white. He mutters something under his breath. Something even the mic barely catches. Christine hears it anyway. She wasn't supposed to come back. The judge asks, "Who is she?" And that's when Robin turns fully to the judge and, without flinching, says the words that send the courtroom spiraling. She's his fifth wife. Secrets are dangerous, but the ones you thought were buried, they're the ones that dig you up. Kody jumps to his feet. That's a lie. We were never legally married. It was never recognized by the state. But the judge slams his gavel. Mr. Brown, sit down, Sarah Lee Williams. A name that had faded into tabloid conspiracy theories. A woman who once claimed to be spiritually married to Kody during the Utah days. Robin had denied it. Kody had laughed it off. TLC never acknowledged her, but now she had resurfaced, with text messages, with a hotel keycard, with security footage, with proof of a kiss, and a shared life. When truth knocks, denial won't answer fast enough. Christine's lawyer rises from her seat, barely able to hide her smile. Your Honor, she says, we move to reopen evidence for prior asset division. If this woman is tied to Kody legally, financially, or spiritually, then every wife, past and present, has a right to know. Kody stares at Robin. Not with anger. Not with panic. With betrayal. You set this up, he whispers. Robin doesn't answer. She just slowly sits back down. And for the first time in this courtroom war, Kody is speechless. He thought he could keep his fifth wife a secret. But in court, nothing stays buried forever. As the judge reviews the folder and orders a recess, the cameras catch the moment. Kody turns away from everyone and places his face in his hands. A man unraveling alone. The lights flicker once overhead, just a soft pulse, but in that sterile courtroom silence, even electricity seems nervous. Recess is called, but no one moves. Robin hasn't blinked since sitting down. Kody hasn't lifted his face from his hands. And Christine? She's the only one smiling, not a smirk, not a laugh. A slow, calculated smile that tells everyone in the room she knew something like this was coming. Behind the scenes, reporters begin texting furiously. The name Sarah Lee Williams trends within minutes. A few audience members whisper rumors. One woman murmurs, "She had a baby, right?" Another shakes her head. "No, she was just a spiritual wife." No one agrees. No one knows. But the story's crackling now. The courtroom isn't just a legal arena today. It's a minefield of secrets. And someone just stepped on the first one. Security escorts Kody to the back hallway. He doesn't speak, doesn't ask for a lawyer, just walks with that same stony glare that used to terrify the children on filming days. He's not angry. He's undone. In the hallway, his voice finally breaks out, not to his lawyer, not to Robin, but to the TLC producer hovering nearby. "You said this was locked," he snaps. "You said there were no tapes left," the producer flinches. "That's what we believed, until Sarah sent us her own footage. That stops him cold." "Footage?" "She wore a body cam, Kody, for 3 years. Just when you think you're controlling the narrative." Someone else hits record. Back in the courtroom, Christine turns to Janelle. "You think she's here?" She whispers. Janelle doesn't answer, but her eyes are already scanning the gallery. And then, movement. From the back, a figure stands, long honey blonde hair, a tan trench, coat. A slow walk forward as the crowd parts like a wave. Breaking on rocks. Robin looks up and chokes out a breath. There she is, Sarah Lee Williams. Calm, poised, and very much real. She walks straight to the witness. "Stand as the judge returns. Miss Williams, you've submitted evidence, including a sworn affidavit. Are you prepared to testify under oath?" "Yes, Your Honor." And as she sits, everyone sees it. A silver locket around her neck. Inside it, a baby photo, but not just any baby. A child with the unmistakable curls and eyes of a brown. Kody's jaw twitches. "Sarah," he growls. "Don't." She meets his stare. "You promised you'd claim him when the show ended." But it never ended, did it? Some secrets come with tiny fingers, birth certificates, and promises that were never meant to be broken. Robin slams her hand on the table. What is she talking about? But Sarah's gaze never leaves Kody. "You want to talk about infidelity?" she says, her voice even. "Let's talk about the cabin in Arizona. The one you bought under WW Holdings. Wife Williams Holdings," the judge interrupts. "Do you have proof of this LLC?" Sarah pulls a USB from her purse. "I have the founding documents. And the original deed transfer with Robin's signature notarized." She knew. The entire courtroom erupts. Robin screams, "That's a lie! I signed what you told me to sign." Kody shouts, "I never registered that LLC." The judge slams the gavel. "Order!" But there is no order when betrayal runs in every direction. Christine sits forward, her hands clasped tightly. She whispers to Janelle, "This is bigger than infidelity. This is about the money." Janelle nods. "And about the boy." The judge allows a 5-minute sidebar, and while the attorneys huddle, Sarah pulls out her phone. She shows the screen to the clerk and quietly asks that it be submitted into evidence. "It's a video," the judge returns. "We'll admit the file as Exhibit 7C pending review." Sarah steps to the projector, and presses play. The footage is shaky at first, then it steadies. It's Kody, shirtless, holding a baby, laughing. "I can't wait until this is over," he says. "Then you and him will vanish." Sarah's voice off camera. "What about Robin?" "Kody, she's just for now." "You're the real thing. When a father loves in secret, the child becomes a weapon. Or a witness, Robin sobbing now. The gallery is stunned. Christine stone-faced, Janelle shaken. And Kody? Silent. The judge turns to Sarah. "Who is the child in the video?" "My son," she replies. "Ethan, full name, Ethan Michael Brown, born April 18th, 2014. Christine gasps. "He would have been born during season 5, Janelle whispers. That's when Kody kept disappearing for shoot scheduling. The timeline matches, the lies stack, and suddenly the man everyone thought they knew starts to disappear. piece by piece. What do you do when your entire family tree has branches you never planted? Robin doesn't move. She stares at the open locket sitting on the witness stand, as if it's some kind of cursed object, something that holds the proof of everything she tried to deny, ignore, and suppress for years. The photo inside it isn't blurry. It isn't vague. It's sharp, and the baby in that photo looks too much like Kody to be anything else. But Robin keeps whispering to herself, "It's not true. It's not true." She says it over and over, but no one hears her now. Not the judge, not Kody, not even the cameras. Her world is closing in, and it's not Sarah's locket that's destroying it. It's the reality that Kody lied to her face for a decade. The most dangerous evidence isn't on paper. It's the kind that lives in someone's eyes. Kody, meanwhile, looks like a man walking off a cliff. He knows what comes next. DNA tests, financial audits, tabloid leaks. A child he never publicly acknowledged now has a name, and soon, a voice. And worst of all, the courtroom is about to hear it. The judge leans into the mic. We'll take a 10-minute recess. When we return, we will review the initial results of the paternity test filed by the plaintiff. Robin bolts to her feet. "I want a lawyer," she says breathlessly. "A different one. Someone not tied to Kody." Her attorney blinks. "Robin, we've prepared this case together." "I said someone else," she shrieks, slamming her palm against the table so hard it echoes like a gunshot. Silence. Christine watches, unblinking. The woman who once cried about family unity is now unraveling over a son she never saw coming. Outside, reporters cluster like bees around a honey jar. Inside, security has to escort Robin out of the room. She's hyperventilating, clutching her purse as if her secrets are stuffed inside and threatening to spill out. And just as she reaches the doors, Christine calls out, not loudly, but clearly. Should have asked him why he kept flying to Flagstaff all those weekends. Now you know. Robin doesn't look back, but the courtroom does. 10 minutes pass, then 15, then 20. The judge re-enters, alone. All parties back in session. Kody sits with a new lawyer, someone from a private firm. Janelle frowns as she reads the name tag. "That's the firm that handled his Vegas refinance," she whispers. "The one Robin wasn't supposed to know about?" Christine leans forward. "You mean the mortgage for the cabin?" The judge clears his throat. "We've reviewed the DNA sample submitted by the minor child's legal representative. For the record, the test results have returned with a 99.99% match. And then it's official, Ethan Michael Brown is biologically Kody Brown's son." The gallery murmurs. A few gasp. Christine leans back in her chair. "He always said he only had 18 children, she whispers. "Guess we just found number 19. There are moments in a courtroom when time stands still. This was one of them. Kody doesn't react. He just blinks, once, twice, a slow breath out. Then silence. The judge continues. "In light of this revelation, we're reopening prior property agreements, trust filings, and financial disclosures, particularly those involving minors." That's when the courtroom door creaks open again. And in walks Mary.com, unbothered, holding a white envelope. She doesn't speak until the judge acknowledges her. "Ms. Brown, are you here to testify?" "No, Your Honor," she says. "But I do have something relevant to the court. I've kept this sealed since 2017, but now I think you'll want to see it." She hands the envelope to the clerk. Christine squints. "Wait, that envelope, wasn't that locked in the upstairs office drawer in Vegas?" Janelle's eyes widen. "He told us it was for executive decisions only." The judge opens it slowly. Inside, a notarized letter, signed by Kody Brown. Subject line, amended trust clauses in the event of additional offspring. Dated, July 14th, 2014, the same year Ethan was born. Kody planned for Ethan's existence, even while denying it to his. Wives Robin re-enters at that exact moment. Her hair's disheveled, her lipstick smudged. But the second she sees Mary standing near the bench, something changes in her. "You knew," she whispers. Mary doesn't answer. Robin walks closer, voice rising. "You knew about this kid?" Mary turns, calm, controlled. Her voice cuts through the tension like a blade. "I knew about the clause. I didn't know about the boy." Kody finally speaks. "It was supposed to be for legal protection. In case something happened." "Something happened?" Robin scoffs. "You mean like sleeping with another woman behind my back and having a child with her?" Christine claps audibly. 1, 2, 3 slow, sarcastic claps. The judge glares. Control the gallery! But it's too late. The courtroom has become chaos. Robin's yelling. Kody's trying to speak over her. Christine's smiling like she's already won. Janelle's whispering to her lawyer. And Mary? She simply walks out again, leaving behind the single piece of paper that might shift the entire course of the estate division. When one secret falls, the others follow, and no one escapes the landslide. The judge finally calls for a complete adjournment until the following morning. But just as people start to rise, a junior clerk rushes forward with a brown folder. "Your Honor," she says breathlessly. "There's more." The judge opens it. His brow furrows. He flips through, then looks straight at Kody. "Mr. Brown, are you aware of a Utah trust account filed under the name Sunrise One?" Kody's eyes narrow. "No." But Christine speaks before anyone else. "Yes, Your Honor," she says firmly. "That's the account Robin used to hide Ethan's inheritance." And the room freezes. The folder labeled Sunrise One Trust Account sits open on the judge's bench like a loaded weapon. No one speaks. Kody keeps shaking his head. Christine watches with laser focus. And Robin? She's pale, breathing fast, like someone holding onto the edge of a cliff with one hand and knowing her grip is slipping. "Judge." Renshaw finally breaks the silence. "This trust account was opened in 2015. Documents suggest it was funded with a series of property sales, including a Flagstaff parcel and partial earnings from Coyote Pass Investments. The named beneficiary is Ethan Michael Brown." Kody slams the table. "I never authorized that." Robin stands. "Neither did I." But the judge lifts a notarized authorization form. "This," he says slowly, "is signed by both of you." Christine raises an eyebrow. "Are you saying Robin forged his signature? Or he forged hers?" The courtroom stiffens. Robin's lips part, but no words come. There are betrayals you expect, but forged documents? That's war. A gasp echoes from the gallery, and then the sound of heels. Fast, sharp. A woman walks down the center aisle, mid-50s, black blazer, trembling hands. The clerk reads her name aloud. "Kimberly Davies. State notary," the judge nods. "You're here regarding the Sunrise One documents?" Kimberly swallows hard. "Yes, Your Honor. Were you present when these signatures were made?" She hesitates. "No, Your Honor. I was paid to notarize after the fact." Christine leans forward, stunned. The judge frowns. "By whom?" Kimberly's eyes flood with tears. "By her," she whispers, pointing at Robin. "She said Kody was unavailable and that it was just a formality. She gave me $100 cash in a manila envelope. The moment a notary admits the signature was fake, everything the document protects collapses." Robin grabs her lawyer's arm. "Stop her!" she cries. "She's lying. I never. Kody told me to finish the paperwork." But the judge bangs the gavel. "This is now a criminal matter." Gasps ripple through the room. Kody glares at Robin. "What did you do?" Robin stumbles backward, face ashen. "You told me it was the only way to protect Ethan's future." "You created the trust," Christine says sharply. "You lied to us for 10 years. And you made Ethan the center of a fraudulent financial transaction." The judge interrupts, turning to the clerk. "Get the Arizona Financial Crimes Division on the line. We're placing a freeze on all accounts tied to Sunrise One and issuing a summons for full audit." Robin's knees buckle, and then she drops. Not dramatically. Not like a fainting actress. She collapses like her bones can't hold the weight of everything anymore. When the body gives up, it's because the lies have finally crushed it. Paramedics rush in. TLC cameras, which had been barred from rolling, are now rolling. Robin's breathing, but barely. Christine folds her arms. "And this," she mutters, "is why you don't build empires on fake signatures and favoritism." The judge calls a recess, but Janelle doesn't move. She's frozen because she recognizes something in those documents. Something that hadn't clicked until now. She turns to Christine. "One of those parcels. It's mine." Christine blinks. "What?" Janelle rushes to the bench. "May I approach?" The judge nods. She points at a property ID in the lower right corner of the Sunrise One funding list. "That parcel was supposed to be my future home. Kody told me the paperwork got lost when we moved from Vegas. But that's my land." Christine's jaw drops. So this wasn't just fraud. It was theft of inheritance, trust, and land. Robin is wheeled out on a stretcher. Kody stands, motionless, and Janelle's voice cracks for the first time in weeks. "I trusted you," she whispers. The judge leans forward. In light of this discovery, we will reassign financial control of disputed landholdings until further investigation is complete. And Ms. Janelle Brown, you have the court's permission to file a claim for asset recovery immediately. Kody suddenly bursts. This is Christine's plan. This whole thing. She found Sarah. She planted the boy. She found this notary. This isn't justice. Then, almost reluctantly, he says the words that have been coming all day. This case is moving from civil to criminal court. Effective immediately, Christine gasps. Janelle whispers. Finally. Kody stares at the floor, but before anyone can speak, the back doors open again, and in walks a new figure, a tall man in a suit, holding a duffel bag. He approaches the court officer and presents a badge. Michael Brown, he says. FBI. I'm here about the Sunrise 1 transfers and the money wired to Panama. And the courtroom goes silent. The moment the man says FBI, every person in the courtroom turns to stone. Michael Brown's voice is calm, authoritative, but the name he just dropped, Panama, hits like a bomb. Even the judge pauses mid-sentence. Mr. Brown, you're Special Agent, Financial Crimes Division, he confirms. We've been tracking a series of land transactions tied to shell accounts in Panama, traced back to a U.S. LLC called Sunrise 1. Our investigation now includes wire fraud, tax evasion, and possible international money laundering. Christine exchanges a stunned look with Janelle. Kody goes pale. I never sent money overseas. Robin, now half conscious on a hospital stretcher outside, suddenly tries to sit up when she hears the word Panama. A court assistant rushes to restrain her. Agent Brown opens the duffel bag and removes a laptop, plugging it into the courtroom projector. He brings up a spreadsheet. These are financial records pulled from First Southwest Trust Bank in Phoenix, tied to the Sunrise 1 account. 3 months after it was opened, $460,000 was transferred to a firm in Panama. The transfer was approved using a digital signature. He clicks. A signature appears on the screen. Kody Wynn Brown, it reads. Kody shoots up. That's fake. I never signed anything like that. I don't even know how to transfer money to Panama. But then Agent Brown flips to a second slide. This, he says, is a voice message attached to the approval form. It was auto-recorded by the bank's security protocol. It matches the phone number on file for Mr. Brown. He plays it. A scratchy, low-quality audio clip fills the courtroom. It's Kody's voice. Yeah, send it through. Use the Sunrise account. It's all set up under Robin's cousin. Make it look like a land investment. No flags. Gasps erupt across the courtroom. Christine slaps her hand over her mouth. Janelle stares at Kody like she doesn't recognize him anymore. Even Robin, outside on the stretcher, starts crying uncontrollably because she didn't know about this voicemail either. Kody whispers to his lawyer, "That's not me. That's edited. Someone faked that." But Agent Brown keeps going. We ran the audio through voice recognition. It's a 98.7% match. Combined with the metadata, timestamps, and the known ownership of the account, it's enough to proceed. Kody stands, trembling. It was for Ethan, he blurts. He needed protection. I didn't want the others to touch that money. The courtroom goes dead silent. You wired money offshore. To keep it from your wives? Janelle's voice breaks. No, Kody shouts. You don't get it. The show was ending. TLC was cutting our pay. Ethan would have been left out. Robin said he was a liability if the others found out. Christine interrupts. So Robin did know? Kody hesitates. His mouth opens. Closes. His eyes dart toward the doors. He says nothing. The most telling silence is the one that follows a question everyone already knows the answer to. The judge clears his throat. We will recess until tomorrow morning. The court is coordinating with federal agents to determine the scope of Sunrise 1's involvement in international transfers. A forensic document examiner will also be brought in. Agent Brown nods. Before we adjourn, there's one more thing. He pulls out a second folder. This was discovered in a locked storage unit in Mesa, Arizona, belonging to a company called Nexwell Holdings, which is also tied to Mr. Brown. Inside, a second deed transfer. Dated 2018, signed by Mary Brown. But Mary stands up. Instantly. I never signed anything for Nexwell. I've never even heard of Nexwell. The courtroom stirs again. Agent Brown flips the document. There's a notary stamp on this too. Same notary. Kimberly Davies, Christine exhales. She forged Mary's signature too? Janelle whispers. That must be the Vegas parcel. Mary's hands shake. That was my inheritance property. Christine's eyes widen. The house with the blue shutters. You told me you wanted to pass that to Leon. Tears slipped down Mary's cheek. I did. It wasn't just money. It wasn't just secrets. It was legacy, stolen, forged, and funneled into a hidden life. The judge orders the deed placed under federal custody. Kody stares at the floor like it's his last lifeline. And then Agent Brown drops the final hammer. One more document was recovered, he says. An unsigned trust agreement, listing a second child under Sarah Lee Williams' name. The room erupts. Christine turns to Mary. Another child? Janelle gasps. What? Kody looks like he's seen a ghost. But before Agent Brown can read the name aloud, Robin's scream echoes from the hallway. It's primal. It's broken. And it's loud enough that every window in the courtroom seems to vibrate. Kody bolts toward the door. Christine grabs his arm. Who's the second child, Kody? And he whispers back, You don't want to know. The hallway outside the courtroom echoes with Robin's scream. It's not the cry of a woman caught in scandal. It's the sound of someone watching a reality she spent years building collapse in front of her. Inside, the courtroom door is still swinging when the judge says, Someone bring Mrs. Brown in. Now. Kody is already halfway into the hallway, torn between facing the fire inside or the flames outside. His steps falter. He looks like a man caught between two disasters and realizing both are of his own making. Then the door opens and Robin stumbles in. Her mascara is smeared. Her breathing is ragged. She's not speaking, just pointing toward the file Agent Brown still holds. You can't let them read it, she pleads. It'll destroy everything. Agent Brown is calm, unmoved. We're reading it now. He opens the document. It's a partial trust agreement, unsigned but filled out. Guardian, Sarah Lee Williams. Secondary contact, Robin Alice Brown. Child, female. Dub, December 17th, 2016. Name, Ava Lee Brown. Christine stands up. A daughter? Janelle gasps. He said Ethan was the only one. Robin collapses into the chair next to the bench, trembling. I tried to stop her, she whispers. I begged Sarah not to put Ava in the system, but she said if anything happened to her, Ava was to be protected. That's why I kept the name on the form. That's why I signed off as secondary guardian. You knew? Christine's voice shakes. You knew this whole time? I didn't know she filed the trust. Robin cries. I thought it was just a safety plan. I didn't think she'd really... When truth leaks out in pieces, it hurts more, because every delay is a choice. And every choice is betrayal. The judge orders full verification. Agent Brown nods. We've confirmed Ava exists. She was placed in the Utah private foster system in 2020. Sarah Lee Williams signed temporary guardianship under emergency circumstances after an alleged breakdown. Mary stands. Wait, if Ava's in foster care, where's Sarah? A pause, then Agent Brown says it. She's missing. A wave of shock ripples through the courtroom. Missing, gone. No contact. No trace. No digital footprint since 2021. Robin starts sobbing. I thought she was hiding. I didn't think she was gone. Christine looks to the judge. What happens to Ava now? The judge answers grimly, if the trust documents are legitimate and the DNA matches Kody Brown, he will be obligated by law to assume legal and financial responsibility. And if Robin signed as guardian without declaring this child publicly, we're entering the territory of concealment and custodial interference. Janelle whispers, This isn't just scandal. This is criminal. The secrets weren't just hidden. They were protected by forged ink and quiet disappearances. Kody sits back down. For once, he's quiet, small, and then he speaks. Quietly. Sarah left because of me, he says. She wanted out. She told me she couldn't raise 2 kids in the shadows. That's why she started the paperwork. That's why she disappeared. Christine slams her hand on the table. And you just let her vanish? Kody looks at her, his eyes hollow. I thought she'd come back. Robin grabs his hand. You said there was no second child. You swore. I thought the adoption didn't go through. I didn't think she filed the papers. I didn't think she listed you. Christine stands, trembling. So you lied to all of us? About Ava, about Ethan, about the trust, about everything. Janelle closes her eyes. And that poor girl is in foster care because you couldn't be a father. The judge bangs his gavel, but it doesn't stop the tears from Christine's face, or the panic in Robin's eyes, or the look on Kody's face that says he knows. This is the end of the road. Agent Brown speaks again. We've contacted the Utah Department of Child Services. Ava's current placement is confidential, but the court has initiated emergency DNA testing. The results will be expedited, Robin whispers. If she's his daughter, what happens? The judge turns to her. Then she becomes a legal heir. And all assets tied to the Brown family trust, including Coyote Pass, the Vegas properties, and any existing TLC residuals, must be recalculated. Christine clenches her fists. Which means my kids